This man right here is an absolute monster. I was right about him. I was right about him. I am right about everything.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
I am right about everything. Maybe I was wrong about Josh Primo's character, but other than that, I've been right about every single take. All right, guys, so we're going to talk a little bit about Jeremy Sochan. Won't be a long video by any means, so I'll just skip the merch, okay? If you guys want to support me, please go to clanthemerchfan.com. Check out some of the designs. Got some new ones coming out pretty soon. But let's go ahead and look at this. So across his last 4 games, all right, as the day of when this was recorded, or actually we'll just say when this was posted on the 24th of January, all right? Last 4 games, this 19-year-old has put up 16.3 points per game, 6 rebounds per game, and 2.5 assists per game. Funny enough, it's 2.5 assists per game, but it will be much more if we had a better team. He's shooting 56% from the field and has made 6 out of his 8 threes and 13 out of 16 free throws over that span. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And I don't know if you guys really understand how ridiculous this is. Hold on. You don't understand. Jeremy Sochan, because I'm going to talk to you guys about something. Let's do stats college. Look at this. No one's contextualizing how ridiculous this is. So as you guys know, I did quite a few videos when I was talking about players that I would want to come to the Spurs, just some players to look out for. And you guys know I was huge on Jeremy Sochan. Like, I really liked Jeremy Sochan. I even made posts saying that was my favorite guy to go after. It was him and Dyson Daniels. It ended up becoming Tari Eason in my top 3 as well. But I definitely wanted Jeremy Sochan. And this is him from college. All right. This is what he was putting up in college. Look how bad of a shooter he was. Now, you can look at the 3-point percentage and you're like, well, Clan, that's basically the same. He's gotten so much better over the last couple months. So I'm not even gonna look at 3-point percentage. Look at the free throw percentage. Free throw percentage, 59% free throw percentage. And this was the biggest issue. This was the bigger issue, okay? So a big issue with Jeremy Sochan going into this draft is because people thought that he just wouldn't be capable of becoming that much better of a shooter. Now, I know this is a small sample size. We're literally talking just a couple months in which we saw a lot of improvement, but this is still huge because this is more improvement than we've seen or he's seen throughout his entire career, which is a short career, but no one was expecting this. So one thing that people were scared of when it came to Jeremy Sochan was his free throw percentage, because as you guys know, even if a player has really poor 3-point percentage, as long as their free throw percentage is decent, you know that there's upside when it comes to their shooting, right? But his free throw percentage wasn't really there. 3-point percentage wasn't really there. But one thing that he was really good at, he's always been good at, and I brought this up myself, I just give myself some credit, okay, is his ability to shoot around the basket. He had one of the highest, earlier in the season, he had one of the highest finishing rates around the rim, although he had one of the lower of the bigs dunking rates. So he did not dunk the ball often. So Jalen Duren, for instance, had a really high rate as far as field goal percentage around the rim. But Jeremy Sochan was right there with him. Like he was right there with him, but he was not dunking the ball. And with that being said, that means that he has really good touch. And I figured and I assumed at that point, I was like, maybe he can become a pretty good shooter, because as you guys know, even the Spurs coaches have said this before, like, even though the free throw percentage isn't the best, as long as you know, are given some really good floaters, or you can shoot around the rim pretty well, then you could end up being a better shooter. So that's where I was like, maybe he could really improve. But man, I was not expecting the improvement to be in the middle of this season. So let me bring this up too. All right, because I'm sorry, I'm excited. Let me bring up this too. Everyone was so upset when Chip England left. And don't get me wrong, I was a little upset too. I was like, dang, Chip England's gone, right? He has to leave. But you know, it was the whole DeJounte is bigger than basketball, and people assume it was literally bigger than basketball, and it wasn't. But with that being said, I also said this. I was like, look, and I still feel this way. Even though Chip England is gone, everything that he taught, or every knowledge that he's had as a coach, you don't think that he passed it down to other people? You don't think Pop picked up on some of the the nuances of what Chip England would do. You don't think some of those younger coaches coming in learned from Chip England? It's the same thing with Pop. Coaches come in under Pop, they leave and they're successful, right? So why couldn't it be the other way around, where we had Chip England and we have younger coaches and he teaches them and they learn from what Chip England has taught? And thus far, that's what we're seeing, because Jeremy Sochan is doing phenomenal. Another point with Chip England as well is that a lot of people said, well, he's the shot doctor, which is true. He's phenomenal, right? But Spurs players aren't the only players in NBA history that have had the ability of increasing their percentages and becoming better shooters. So that would tell me that other coaches are pretty good at it as well. And it also depends on the players that you have, right? How hard they're going to work and whatnot. And thus far, I am just in awe. And it's not just this, okay? It's not just the shooting, all right? Let me talk about something else. His ability to see the court. He's 19 years old. His ability to see the court, to see plays form before they happen is phenomenal. Everyone gives Şengün like so much credit, which he should get it, okay? Şengün's a phenomenal passer in my opinion. I really like Şengün. In retrospect, it would have been better if we grabbed him instead of Josh Primo. I still think Primo would have been a better player, but in all circumstances. But Jeremy Sochan, his size, the way that he can see plays before they happen, his pinpoint accuracy, the fact that he can handle the ball fairly well, and his turnover, he's been getting the ball quite a bit, okay? And his turnovers, it's not that bad at all. If you look at the month of January thus far, he's averaging 2.3 turnovers. That's nothing. And it's a little conflated because of this 5 turnover game against Detroit. And you go down even further. Hey, 1.4 in December. I guess we shouldn't go down too far because I don't know. I don't know how often he was getting the ball in November as far as like being the primary. No, he was one of the primaries. At least half of November, I believe. But 1.7. So he's doing his thing. Like it's not like he's getting the ball and he's turning over a lot. He's getting the ball. And this is a bad team, okay? So we should be pretty easy to exploit. We're not running any complex plays or anything like that. And the fact that this big man can take the ball down the court and create for his teammates to the extent that he's been able to do is just mind blowing to me. And with his turnovers, he's not getting any, really. Let me see. So if we look at, hold on. We'll just look at the month of December. Okay? I mean, not December, January. Okay, 2.3. This is the most that he's, most turnovers he's getting, committing. So let's look at, I don't know, Trey Jones. And both of them are handing the ball quite often. Let's see. Is it going to be about the same? Oh, well, Trey Jones is 1.5. So Trey Jones is doing a phenomenal job, too, of handling the ball. But I was just trying to make a point that it's not that far off. As far as this 1.5, if we already looked at Jeremy Sochan's other months, and it's around that range. So he is doing a really, really good job. And this is someone that we definitely need to be excited for. And this is something that I'm just mind blown. I was not expecting it to get this good this early. But moving on, one last thing. This was his last game, once again, as of this was January 23rd. But this game was really impressive. A block, 4 assists, 6 rebounds, 18 points. And what I love about this the most is that he's actually getting recognition around the league. Okay, so it's not just us talking about him. It seems like there's more and more people starting to come out and say, hey, we need to look at that Jeremy Sochan dude. He's actually pretty doggone good. So look, everything about his game I like. I like his handles. I like his ability to pass. I like his shooting ability now. I like his finishing ability. I like his basketball IQ. I love his defense. I love his tenacity. I love how angry and mean he is to other players. I love that he's just a nasty guy. He's just a guy that you don't want to face because he's bigger than you. He could beat you up. But on top of it, he's going to do like little nitpick things to kind of get in your head. And what you going to do about it? Complain to the refs? That's all you can do because you can't take Jeremy Sochan. We saw what happened to Morris. So I don't know, man. I absolutely love this. I think that this is awesome. And the more we see him, the more and more is going to be impressive. Oh, You know what? I said last thing, but this is actually the last thing, okay? This is what gets me the most excited. Not, it doesn't get me the most excited. Everything gives me the most excited. Okay. Going into this, something I didn't realize, all right? Going into this season, Jeremy Sochan, to me, wasn't known, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but he wasn't really known as a guy that can leap above the rim, a guy that can leap in the gym, right? I just didn't think I knew he was athletic, but I just didn't think that he could really get up there. He can get up there. Like, there's been many occasions thus far this season that he's gotten up there. I mean, if we're talking about the dunk on Sabonis, that was absolutely filthy. Or we're talking about the putback the other night, he can get up there. He has that sneaky athleticism, very similar to Derek White in that regard. So just wanted to bring this to your attention. Just know that this man is getting recognition. He is nasty. He's doing all this, and he can't even drink in the United States. Okay, he can't drink in the United States yet. So very impressive. Very impressive. I'll give it to you guys later. If you want to support the channel, clanthemerchfan.com, link in the description. But yeah, I'll give it to you later. Till next time. Bye.